I try as hard as I can to become the character.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy with your books because they're so well written. And
Thank you.
no, it's true. You describe how they are, and you can feel their motivation. And
Yeah.
you get someone like Marzipan. He's very small. He's a little insect, and he's very timid. And you could feel that in the writing that's how he was.
Yeah.
So that's how I played him. And yeah, they do become friends.
Yeah.
Which sounds
He'd be an
crazy.
interesting one when we talk again to talk about, because he came out of a dream. My superpower is napping, because every time I'll have the weirdest dreams and I'll wake up and I'll be like, I can do something with that. And so I literally had a dream about him and woke up, and I'm not an artist, but I tried to sketch him out. And so he was like burning in my brain, and I'd look at the sketch and I'd be like, okay, what's your story? And that's how he got woven into it.
Wow. So the key to being a good writer is eating a lot of cheese before you go to bed.
And take a lot of naps, yeah. In the multicast, I really think you've got something there to keep producing.
This is brand new. We're getting more than one narrator to handle the characters.
Yeah, and how...
That was so much fun.
And how interesting, because we've never met. We're in 2 different countries, and yet we can produce a book together, which I find...
Isn't that cool?
Because people ask me, it's like, well, did you get on like a call like this to read? And I said, no, because I use different equipment when I'm recording the audio than when I'm just, doing an interview. So yeah, this was a lot of fun for me. And I would not have done it had you not, said, hey, why don't you record these parts? So thank you for encouraging me to do it. I've done a lot of voiceover work, but again, it was always like me or like one voice that's a little different. It was not this array, and it was so much fun.
How many did you have to do in the end? Do you remember? Must have been 10 at least, wasn't it?
Yeah, at least 10. I don't have the list, but what I ended up doing is, like, you do your audio segment, which is a great idea. I would leave notes for myself, Reverend Isabella, she kind of had this Caribbean flair. So her voice was very heavy, and she'd start off under pitch and come up, so I'd have to remember how, the different things. But
did you base these on people you knew, particularly her? Do you not have a Caribbean friend? No?
No, I just, I know people who sound sort of like some of the characters, but I couldn't place it. Mostly I just had a voice in my head, and I would look up different accents. And if I found one that I said that could work, I would do a little research, like a YouTube video, how to speak with a German accent. And again, I wasn't trying to necessarily be German, but get some tips from somebody who was like a native speaker.
And the one you gave me for your book, Jasper.
Oh, and you were such a good Jasper.
Well, you gave me a note for that. You said you wanted him to be like Jack Nicholson.
Or he didn't have to be like that, but for some reason, that's who I'm hearing. Jack Nicholson in Batman, like that kind of over the top personality.
And I don't do impressions, so I don't do Jack Nicholson, but I wanted to get that kind of vibe. And I did that for him, and I used it for him. And now I'm doing another book right now, and there's a baddie in it. And I'm thinking, that Jasper character would work really well here. And now he's in another book that I'm in the middle of right now. So he's returned. Yeah.
So was he your favorite character? Because it seemed like you really enjoyed him.
I did, yeah, because he was so over the top.
Yeah.
Because he's like that, and he's like, and I have to put my chin out and go like,
I'm glad we're doing video for this.
Yeah. And he was so much fun to do. The baddies are always way more fun than anything. And I kept hearing that from actors in like TV interviews on chat shows and that. And I was thinking, I wonder what that's all about. Well, I totally understand it now.